that's how Donald Trump will be greeted when he heads to the United Kingdom today. We also expect there to be protests across the UK based on Donald Trump's presence there. I think the people of UK, other than the far right-wing groups, do not want Donald Trump to be there, and they're going to let their voices be heard. Shout out to all the Midas Mighty in the UK right there. And for those on audio, we showed the people of UK bringing out a massive poster of Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein. That's right by Windsor Castle. Also, British TV station Channel 4. They're going to be engaged in special coverage, showing 100 of Donald Trump's lies and falsehoods with brief text-based fact checks throughout the day. British TV station to air a marathon of Trump's lies as he visits the UK, and then they're going to be fact-checking all of the things that he says. Great work, hat tip to Channel 4. Also, look, Donald Trump is a menace to the international order. Donald Trump is a menace to the safety and security of the United States and to innocent people as well. Look, Donald Trump claims that the United States military destroyed another Venezuelan fishing boat. Now, Donald Trump claims they're narco-terrorists that were killed. Looks like another small fishing boat. He didn't provide any evidence to show that it's actually narco-terrorists. And even thereafter, to show that they were bringing drugs into the United States and why they couldn't be stopped with less lethal means than just killing them, with the American military playing judge, jury, and executioner. But what Donald Trump admitted during his press conference yesterday after posting an ISIS-style death video of the people on the second fishing boat who he killed, he said, there's the fishing boats out in that region are not showing up like they used to because innocent fishing people are scared that they can be killed. That's one of the issues, that people who are on fishing boats there may get killed by just engaging in fishing. I mean, we saw the Navy board tuna boat, a bunch of fishers fishing for tuna off the coast of Venezuela the other day. Donald Trump says, if I were a fisherman, I wouldn't want to go fishing in the area. That's people's livelihoods in the area you're talking about. It's one of the problems with the unlawful use of military force to just kill people and just label people narco-terrorists, then just start murdering people. Here, play this clip.
But we have noticed that there are no ships in the ocean anymore. We're seeing that there's like no ships, when the first one we went, there were hundreds of boats. Now there are no boats. I wonder why. Meaning no drugs are coming across, probably stopping some fishermen too. I mean, to be honest, if I were a fisherman, I wouldn't want to go fishing. Just a nice, let's take a little trip, because I'd say, man, maybe they think I have drugs downstairs. I don't want that. I think the fishing business has probably been hurt, but there are literally no boats. This was a boat, and we were surprised to see it.
I want to be very clear where my views are on this. Of course, I want narco-terrorists to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. I also think it's important that the United States military justify when it goes out and just starts killing people. It should explain transparently how there was a risk of death to Americans. Show the intelligence that you had. These look like tiny fishing boats that didn't have enough fuel to get anywhere near the United States. Were they 24-foot ships? The latest one looked like it may have even been smaller than 24 feet. And so what drugs were on there? Who were these people? Why did you think that you couldn't stop them by other means? What's the lawful aspect of this order? I would just like to know that before our taxpayer dollars go around just killing people across the country, by the way. And that especially is the case with what we're seeing in Gaza right now, as Benjamin Netanyahu has increased the offensive attacks into Gaza and the atrocities being committed there every single day need to be called out. I mean, they're striking some of the largest skyscrapers that are there right now. Not skyscrapers, just the tallest buildings, 17-story tall buildings are getting knocked down. Other buildings are getting knocked down as people are running away. And Israel's saying, look, there may be Hamas in there. Lots of people are saying there's like a lot of innocent people in there. There's a lot of people who live there. There's medical supplies in there. And what the heck is going on? More on that in a moment. Here you have Attorney General Pam Bondi giving a press conference yesterday. One of the most despicable things I think I've ever heard an attorney general spew. Here Pam Bondi says, who killed Charlie Kirk? The left-wing radicals killed him, and we're going to hold them accountable. I mean, just think about the vile trash spewing out of her mouth, attacking left-wing radicals. It was a 22-year-old white kid from a Trump Republican family in Utah, a gun-toting Trump Republican family. Oh, he was radicalized by going to what? Utah State University in 2021 during COVID. He took online classes for one semester and then has spent the rest of his time in like an electrical trade school. Watch Pam Bondi. Watch how despicable this is. Here, play this clip.
Yes. Who killed Charlie? Left-wing radicals, and they will be held accountable. So will anyone in this country who commits a violent crime against anyone, and the death penalty.
And then she lies and claims that the killer of the Speaker of Minnesota, Melissa Hortman, was actually a leftist and didn't like Governor Walz. They just lie about everything to threaten atrocities against Democrats and liberals. That's what they're after here. This regime is deranged. Here, play this clip.
The president did say he believes it's mainly on the left-wing radicals. But as you mentioned, the governor's mansion being set afire. We had the former Speaker of the House for the state of Minnesota killed along with her spouse. We had the state senator, wounded along with his wife. So it's clearly not just one side, is it?
No, and in the state speaker's house, I believe they said that they were supporters of Governor Walz.
One more clip of Pam Bondi here. She went on Stephen Miller's wife's podcast, and Pam Bondi basically says that if she deems what you say about Charlie Kirk to not be sufficiently in line with what the regime's praise of Charlie Kirk is, they may deem that hate speech, or they will deem it hate speech, and they will go after you and they will target you for exercising your First Amendment rights. Here's what Pam Bondi has to say. Play this clip.
There's free speech and then there's hate speech. And there is no place, especially now, especially after what happened to Charlie, in our society.
Do you see more law enforcement going after these groups who are using hate speech and putting cuffs on people so we show them that some action is better than no action?
We will absolutely target you, go after you if you are targeting anyone with hate speech, anything. And that's across the aisle.
Now, I want to be very clear where I stand. I don't think people should be celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. Absolutely not. Okay, I think that is wrong, very wrong. I think that we should condemn violence that we saw in all of its forms and manifestations. Yes, it was a 22-year-old white kid from a Trump family, gun-toting family. Wasn't a leftist liberal. No, it was a 22-year-old white kid who we see time and time again fit this profile, or I should say young man, individual. But what we're seeing with the Trump regime, by the way, is attack people and cause them to lose their jobs, like Karen Attiah, who was the last black full-time opinion columnist to the Washington Post. She literally just posted Charlie Kirk's words. Charlie Kirk said, "Black women do not have the brain processing power to be taken seriously. You have to go steal the white person's slot." And Charlie Kirk was saying that about Ketanji Brown Jackson and other very prominent black jurists and leaders. She just quoted what Charlie Kirk said. She got fired from the Washington Post. And then we're seeing all the MAGA Republican leaders and influencers dox people. Like, I'm not even going to show you the photo of this guy or his name, even though he just got fired by Apple. He posted, imagine having died such a horrible person that someone sharing your life's work is considered insensitive, is what this individual worked at Apple. Now, would I have shared sentiments like, would I have said something like that? Personally, no, I wouldn't have. Look, I'm deeply critical of Charlie Kirk. I think that Charlie Kirk has said when he was alive, vile, hateful, divisive things. That was his brand, dividing, spewing hate, anti-black, anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-women, anti-Civil Rights Act. He said that Biden should be executed. I mean, the guy said horrible. He's contributed significantly to division, spread lies all the time. But for someone exercising their First Amendment rights, now that now they're being targeted and fired from their jobs. There's a purge of people in the military for just quoting things that Charlie Kirk said or criticizing Charlie Kirk. They get thrown out of the military. Marco Rubio said he won't give you visas if you've said negative things about Charlie Kirk before. I mean, remember when the right wing's like, we are First Amendment purists. All right, First Amendment purists. And then one of the things that Pam Bondi said, I'll show this in another video. She goes like, if you own a printing store and you refuse to print out photographs of Charlie Kirk that praise him at your printing store, we're coming after you. We're suing you. By the way, wasn't these MAGA Republicans who argued before the Supreme Court and won the case that like wedding photographers and wedding cake makers should be allowed to not provide the wedding cakes and photography to gay people? So they can discriminate against gay people, but a printing store has to print out in their private business photos praising Charlie Kirk. I mean, is that where we're at? And again, these First Amendment purists. You have the Attorney General saying she's targeting you, you're going after you if you exercised your First Amendment rights. And then there's this purge. I want to talk about the atrocities being committed in Gaza. I want to show you what it looked like when the 17-story, the tallest building in Gaza City was destroyed. Here, play this clip. And that's happening every single day right now, over and over again. People are starving in Gaza. Atrocities are being committed there. And look, I think that America should be spending its money building hospitals in the United States instead of shutting down rural hospitals in the United States, what the Trump regime is doing, and then funding the destruction of hospitals in Gaza. That's how I think what we should be doing. And then here's what Donald Trump posted last night. I have just read a news report that Hamas has moved the hostages above ground to use them as human shields against Israel's ground offensive. I hope the leaders of Hamas know what they're getting into if they do such a thing. This is a human atrocity, the likes of which few people have ever seen before. Don't let this happen or all bets are off. Release all hostages now. First off, of course, all of the hostages need to be released right now. Hamas is a terrorist organization that absolutely needs to be held accountable. It doesn't mean you just go and bomb and kill people in Gaza and commit these atrocities. That's not, to me, that's not the way to behave or act as a result of the fact that Hamas exists. Hamas is a terrorist organization, needs to be brought to justice, but we have to acknowledge the atrocities that are being committed. Also, you just said, I read a news report. You're the president of the United States. Don't you have access to like CIA briefs and national security briefs? And shouldn't you have access to things other than watching what's on a news network? Let's just talk briefly about the economy for a second as well. JP Morgan looked at today's Empire Manufacturing Survey, which showed that CapEx expectations, capital expenditures like factory building, companies investing in the U.S., which Trump says that's going on. He goes, we're bringing all this CapEx, the building of factories and building of things. Well, CapEx expectations from businesses fell further from already weak levels. The more worrying aspect of the survey was the slide in employment expectations to a 9-year low. flagging growing nervousness over the labor market. So CapEx down, labor market expectations down, the worst in about 9 years right now. Farmers are terrified. The whole thing is screwed up, said John Painter, a 3-time Trump voter who runs an organic dairy farm in Westfield in Deep Red, Pennsylvania. We need people to do jobs the Americans are too spoiled to do. You voted for this. This is what you voted for, John, 3-time Trump voter. You voted to get rid of your own workers. The whole thing is screwed up. They're pushing lawmakers to move faster on a farm labor solution, even as the president cracks down on immigration. I hate that language, cracks down. You mean kidnaps migrants who have been here working hard for their families, paying taxes, contributing to our economy for farmers like John Painter. And now Trump's ripped apart our economy, not to mention the retaliation that we're facing from places like China, as Donald Trump begs China to allow TikTok to remain in the United States despite legislation from our Senate and Congress banning it, as Trump begs China, please let us have TikTok. China has stopped buying soybeans from the United States, just stopped entirely, not even buying a little. Freight, cargo ships going from the U.S. to China with soybeans and produce like that, zero, zippo, not happening anymore. And it's crushing American farmers. They're going to need to be bailed out soon by taxpayers. So you can expect the deficit to continue to skyrocket as we're going to be now bailing out the farmers who don't want bailouts. The farmers want to be able to work. They want to be able to sell their crop elsewhere, and Trump's prevented that from happening. Watch this.
We worry about drought. We worry about pricing. We worry about equipment. We worry about financing. This tariff is just another thing that we have to worry about.
Todd Western III is a soybean farmer in Waterloo, Iowa. He says trade tensions between the U.S. and China are fueling uncertainty for his business. China, the world's largest buyer of soybeans, hasn't pre-purchased any soybeans for the upcoming U.S. harvest.
The revenue on our farm is just like any other farm. It's volatile.
Western and other farmers like him are also concerned tariffs will drive up costs. Current rates will mean higher prices for items ranging from fertilizers to farm equipment to tractors.
Well, there you have it, folks. We'll keep you posted every step of the way. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.